It was the 18th century. A new shadow was spreading over India. The British, who had first come as mere traders, were now capturing one city and kingdom after another. The palaces of kings were being sold, and the shine of swords was fading. But in the southern land of Mysore, a tiger was born. A young man who would shake the very dreams of the British forever. His name was Tipu Sultan. Tipu was born in 1751 at Devanahalli, near Bangalore. His father was Hyder Ali, who rose from being an ordinary soldier to becoming the ruler of Mysore. From childhood, Tipu was trained to be both a warrior and a wise leader. He learned Persian, Arabic, and Sanskrit. Swordsmanship, horse riding, archery, and gunnery became his passion. He also had a deep interest in science and engineering. Hyder Ali often told him, "Hyder Ali, son, the British win less by the sword and more by cunning. If you wish to protect your land, you must roar like a tiger." Tipu Sultan with determination. "Father, I swear, I will never bow my head before the British, even if it costs me my life." The first battle, a 16-year-old tiger. In 1767, at only 16 years of age, Tipu fought his first battle alongside his father against the British. Tipu, mounted on horseback, swung his sword with such fury that soldiers cried out, "This young man fights like an entire army on his own." One British general, in frustration, exclaimed, "If this boy survives, one day he will shake the very foundations of our empire." From that day, he was called the Tiger of Mysore. The power of rockets. Tipu Sultan was not just a master of the sword, but also a pioneer of science. He created the world's first iron-cased rockets. These rockets whistled through the air and exploded amidst enemy lines, striking terror into British hearts. Soldier. Sultan, your rockets shatter the enemy before they even reach us. Tipu Sultan with pride. The one who brings new ideas to war is the one who truly wins. The beginning of the Anglo-Mysore Wars. Together, Hyder Ali and Tipu defeated the British in the First and Second Anglo-Mysore Wars. The British were forced into treaties, and they realized one truth. As long as Tipu lives, Mysore can never belong to us. Thus, from a young prince, a true tiger was born. Tipu Sultan was no longer just the ruler of Mysore. He had become a symbol for all of India. But this was only the beginning. The real test, the real war, was yet to come. The British would return, this time with more soldiers, more deceit, and more allies. And then, the world would hear the tiger's final roar. The tiger's final roar. Defeated in the first wars, the British realized Tipu Sultan could never be conquered alone. So, they hatched a grand conspiracy. They joined forces with Tipu's old rivals, the Marathas, and the Nizam of Hyderabad. Now, three great powers stood against him: the British, the Marathas, and the Nizam. But Tipu Sultan was a tiger. He never turned his back. The Third Anglo-Mysore War, 1790 to 1792. The war began. Tipu rallied his men with fiery words. Tipu Sultan. "Warriors! No matter if the enemy comes in thousands, one tiger's roar can shake the jungle. Today we fight not for land, but for honor." For 2 long years, the war raged. Tipu's rockets terrified the British. His cavalry struck like arrows through their hearts. But the enemy was vast. At last, Tipu was forced to negotiate. He surrendered his 2 young sons as hostages to the British. As his children were taken away, tears filled his eyes, but his head remained unbowed. Tipu Sultan, in a firm tone. "I can lose my sons, even my kingdom, but I will never lose my freedom." The Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, 1799, Srirangapatna. Years later, the British returned. This time, their aim was clear: to end Tipu once and for all. In 1799, they laid siege to Srirangapatna, the capital of Mysore. Standing among his soldiers, Tipu roared, "Tipu Sultan! Today the world shall witness the Tiger of Mysore does not live in chains. Even if we all fall, the banner of honor will fly forever." Cannons thundered, the earth trembled, swords flashed like lightning as Mysore's warriors fought to the last breath, the final moments. But the British forces were overwhelming. The fortress walls crumbled and the enemy poured in. Tipu Sultan, wounded and bleeding, still fought with his sword. His body was weak, but his spirit was fire. As he fell to the ground, he uttered his final words, "Tipu Sultan," with his last breath. The life of a tiger for one day is better than the life of a jackal for 100 years. And thus the Tiger of Mysore embraced martyrdom. The British won. Mysore fell into their hands, but Tipu Sultan's name became immortal. His life was short, but it became a legend. Tipu Sultan proved that true victory lies not in living long, but in living with honor and courage. The tiger died, but his roar still echoes in the soil of India.